What's going on, everybody? It's Chris from Profoto USA, and today we're going to be talking about negative fill. So last week we talked about fill in general, which for any of you who have not or haven't watched last week or are just new to this, fill is simply just taking your light or a reflector or something, some source, and filling in the shadows. Essentially, that's what the name comes from, fill. You can use a flash, so you can use fill flash, or like we talked about last week, you can use a reflector, like I have this reflector right here. So if you wanted to fill in with a reflector, you could. And I said last week that we would talk about negative fill, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So negative fill is literally doing the opposite. It's taking light away from the subject. And this can, one of the things I think people forget about a lot in photography is what you don't light is just as important as what you do light. So I think everyone's always, concerned about flooding things with light and just blasting things all over the place. Big, huge soft boxes, no grids and stuff like that. So focusing that stuff is really, really important. And with negative fill, you have another tool in your toolbox with that. So I have just set up so you can see what I'm using as a negative fill today. So we have double-sided reflector. So if you needed something that folds up really, really tiny, to travel with for your negative fill, we have those the same size as this thing. So if you needed to have something with you, of course I'm blasting the, hey, come back here, man. Of course I'm blasting the camera with the stuff. So, but we have them in this size, this medium, I think it's like a 33-inch. So if you needed to, fold it up really tight and kind of take it with you, you could. And you could have that with you on the run. I don't have one of those with me today, but what I do have is a piece of foam core. And I think we talked about this last week with using it as a fill. You could get a piece of white foam core. Today, I've got a piece of black foam core. So essentially, what it's doing is it's not allowing the light to bounce back into your subject. So hence making it even darker in the shadow portions. So you can use this a lot to sculpt, to create cool lines. You can, and it's a super versatile piece of material. I mean, you take this foam core, you can cut light and all that kind of good stuff too. But today I'm just going to show you how you can actually take fill away with a negative fill. So cool, I've got Kate here. She's going to help me out here in just a second whenever we set this thing up. So that's what we're going to do, take a couple of shots while we're getting ready for that. So the way that I'm going to do the first one, this is on wheels and it keeps getting away from me. So the way that I'm going to do the first one is I'm going to bring Kate up here. I've got a medium umbrella with the diffusion panel over the front of it. I'm going to sandwich her in between two pieces of foam core. What that should do is sculpt the sides of her face while giving a nice, well, you know what? I think before I start getting into worrying about sculpting the sides, I'm just going to do an easy shot of the flash coming from one direction and the light being subtracted from the other direction. So we're going to do that instead first, and then I'll show you the really cool thing where you can put the foam core on the sides and sculpt the face. So cool, Kate's here. Let's get this umbrella and say hello to everybody, Kate.
Hey, how you doing?
Cool. So you want to try to get the foam core as close as you can. You keep it out of the frame. So that's what the plan is right now. So I'm going to grab my camera. Let me take it off this stand. So just for everybody who always wants to know my camera settings, I'm shooting at 2/50th of a second, ISO 160, and an f8 setting on my camera. So I'm going to see where we are with the first shot. Here we go. Right here, Kate. 3, 2, 1. So we go. So actually right on the money. So you can see that is with the negative fill card in the shot. Do what? Oh.
Can you use
Oh, yeah. So let's go. So as you can see here with the negative fill card, she's got a lot of shadow here on the side of her face. I'm going to remove that card now so you can see the difference with and without. And we can do an A-B comparison. I always forget to do the A-B comparison thing, so that's what we're going to do. Right on. Let's go to perfect. So here's the same setup, same shot, just without the fill card in there. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna go to the raw shots because I think that's gonna be a better tale of what we're getting. So with the shot with the fill card, you can see it's a little bit deeper here in the shadows, whereas it's a little more opened up here on this side. So what we can actually do if we wanted to get that even darker, I could take that same fill card and I could go in really, really close. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Try to keep it just out of frame. And that way we should have a really, really awesome shadow on one side. So there we go. So let's check this bad boy out. Cool. So nice shadow right there on that side. Let's pull up the comparison. Here's that raw file. Here's this raw file. So this one right here was with it pushed in a little bit more. It's pretty dynamite. Let me actually see if you guys have any questions for me while we're going. Hey, Mark Anthony in the house. What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody. What's going on? Netherlands in the building. How's everybody doing? So cool. So what we're going to do for the next shot is I'm actually going to sandwich the two foam cores really, really close on Caitlin. So like I said, it's going to carve up the sides of her face a little bit more, so especially since I have a big soft modifier. I want a little more dimension in her face. So let's do that. So once again, you want to try to get them as close as you can get them while being out of the frame. The upside is, I'm shooting on a piece of seamless, so if I needed to edit out the foam core, I could edit it out. I would rather not, just because I'd rather not. So I'm going to do everything I can to keep that from happening. I've got a locked wheel. Then we go right there. So cool. So, and I'm actually going to bring this in a little bit more. Just going to check my frame real fast, guys, and then pop off the shot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And you'll actually be able to see a lot more of the change in the shot now. So let's get you right here. So the modifier has actually been blocked a little bit, so that's why there's a little bit of an efficiency change in the shot. I probably need to boost the power up a little bit more, which let's do that just for the sake of having that correct. And then we'll check that shot out. Here we go. Right here, Caitlin. 3, 2, 1. So there's a more proper exposure. I have a little bit of my flash obviously creeping into the background. That's what it's kind of avoiding the flag, so that's what you're seeing this little line here for. But let me pull up with and without. Sorry, I'm just hunting it down. There we go. So I'm actually noticing, let me go right here real fast, guys, because it was still a touch under. I want to be pretty close on the match. So the cool thing is, and you can see between this shot right here where there was no negative fill card on this side versus having the negative fill on this side, you can see like right here in her cheek, there's a little more shadowing, which is really, really cool. She has some cheekbones, so it's already kind of there, but this is accentuating it a little bit more. So that's one of those really cool things that I love about light shaping in general, is I like all of the abilities that you have to control your surroundings, which, like I said, I'm a big fan of. So thank you, Kate. Thank you so much for standing in for that. Yep. So cool. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know, and we will, let's talk about them. But for the most part, it's really, really simple. You're just taking the extra light that's there and you're just subtracting it away. Like I said, what's as important in lighting is what you don't light, it is just as important what you don't light as what you do light when it comes to photography. And we do it the same thing whenever we're composing. We're trying to take things out of the shot or put things into the shot to tell the story. Lighting is also that too. So if you need to remove lighting from a story, you have the ability to take the same foam core, make a flag, and kind of flag off the light. Or you have the ability to take that foam core in really, really tight and get it to actually subtract some light away from the subject. So let me see if you guys have any questions before I get out of here for the weekend. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Hey, just everybody saying hello. I love all the friendliness. So hopefully that was some cool information. It's not anything. I always try to make sure that the little nuggets of information that I give you are pretty simple. So fill card. You can do it with, once again, a collapsible reflector that we have. One side will be white, one side will be black. So you have that negative fill on one side and you have the fill on the other side, which is great. It's really easy to travel with. Like I said, it breaks down. Granted, like I said, this is my Sun Silver version, but it breaks down really simply. And you can carry that with you on a job, which is awesome. So you just kind of throw that on the top of your bag and you have that with you. Then for me, just in the studio, and I have them in different sizes, I just have this big chunk of foam core right here. Oh, I locked my wheel. Of course. Cool. I have to lock it because the floors aren't the most level thing in certain places and this thing will start getting away from me. So, but like I said, just a simple piece of black foam core. I even have two of them taped together, so if I need to expand it and make it bigger, I can. So it's it just depends on how you need the tool to do your job. Foam core super cheap, which is great. The downside is it's kind of big, so it's not the easiest thing to travel with. So if you're doing a lot more stuff outside and on the run, you might want to look into something more of the collapsible world than having something rigid and kind of always there. And then you can do the same thing too. I have a gigantic set of V flats that are black that I like to set subjects inside of, and it'll do the same thing. I get a lot of that negative fill there while having a lot of nice light. So let me see if you guys have any questions before I'm out. If you wanted to try this, could you use a yoga mat? Absolutely. The goal of it is just to be black. You need it to be just that, black, so that you're keeping any reflections from coming back into the shot. So even if your yoga mat was gray, it's still going to reflect. It's just not going to be as reflective as obviously a white would be. You need the black to actually remove light from the shot. So very, very good question. Let's see. What's up? Italy's in the house. I like that. You guys are from all over the place. So hopefully, like I said, that was some rock and roll information. Get yourself a collapsible reflector if you're on the run. It makes it way simpler. They have handles, so if you have somebody to hold it, sweet. If not, if you need to hold it while you're shooting, you can do that. Or you could just get one of these really cool, I think this one's by Westcott. It's just really cool, like clamping reflector thing.
You have one question now.
Oh, I got another question? Oh, hey, you guys. Do you guys ever think you'll adjust the A1's focus beams? They are too high when you are trying to focus on a face in poor lighting. Compared to Nikon Canon systems, totally not related, just always bothered by it. David, so I will tell the R&D guys about that and see if that's anything that they can address. Just me being a tech guy, I have no clue. I just know that there's a laser that shoots out of the front. So, but I will send that information up and see it and get them to check it out. And second David, right behind the other David with the question. Thanks for enjoying the information. So once again, really, really simple. I saw something else pop up, so I'm just going to double check that I don't have any questions. So just to kind of recap everything, your fill flash is going to be your you can run if you need to run. So my daughter's yelling down from downstairs. So your fill flash is essentially you're just taking and you're filling in the shadows. So you do that with white, with gray, you can do it with gold or sun silver. You have a lot of different options whenever it comes to how you want to fill it in. Negative fill, you just want to make sure that the color that you're using is black because you're going to try to take light away from it. So it's a negative fill, it's the opposite. So you can do that, like I said, with a collapsible reflector, a piece of foam core, really simple stuff. And then last question before I roll out. Oh, I have a friend, Sasha says, hey, what's up? Yes, exactly. Brian, black absorbs light, so it's stealing all of that light. So once again, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I always love doing this stuff with you. I have some more live stuff planned for you next Friday. So in the meantime, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. If you have any other questions and I missed anything, shoot me a message. I'll reply to you as soon as I can. So, but yeah, awesome to see you guys. Have a killer weekend.